Oh, here you go.
Uh-oh. Interesting. Hey, everybody on TikTok. Hope you guys are doing well. That seems about right.
All right.
That seems pretty good. Welcome, and welcome everyone on YouTube. I want to give this a minute for a few people to tune in. All right, and I am running quite a bit behind today. I also have a very mischievous cat who's trying to knock over all the cameras. So we'll see how this goes. And if you guys have any trouble here on TikTok, if TikTok is TikToking, it may shut down the audio, the visual, may be a little weird. If that happens, go to YouTube at Ask Ivy and you'll get the same class with better quality. Feel free to switch over there now if you guys want to do that. And welcome everyone on YouTube. We have Shelby, Lori, Stephanie, Amanda. Good. Looks like we are live. You guys could also give me a thumbs up here on TikTok and on YouTube, letting me know that you can hear me and see me all right. That would be really helpful. Before I go ahead and get into it today, I want to make sure everything's working. How are we? How are we? Can I get a couple thumbs ups? Hello, Melissa. All right. Very good. All right. So a couple quick announcements while we let people tune in and we work out the kinks here. I am running a raffle. I am so excited about this. This is so much fun. Even though it's a bit of a loss for me. So my Psychic Mediumship course is at a $2,100 value. And I'm doing a raffle so that you guys can win an entirely free tuition. They are tickets on sale on IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. And I think you're getting one ticket for $5, 5 tickets for $20. Okay, so you guys go check it out, enter to win. Super exciting. The next class starts, I want to say April, what is it?
25th.
April 25th is the next course. If you want to jump in with everybody else, we'll be doing the drawing for this at the 100% free Psychic Mediumship class, which is 3 hours long. It's called Taste of Psychic Mediumship, and that's going to be on the, what is that?
24th.
April 24th. Okay, so the day before. He's doing it again with the camera. Jesus. Bubby, come here. Come here.
You want to be on TV
Come
instead
here.
of disrupting the TV?
Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on up here. Come sit. We'll see. My cats are going wild. They're indoor-outdoor cats, and like they're just not used to like being so restricted. I live in New York, and it's been like snowing and cold, and right now they're absolute maniacs. So we have the raffle going on. We have to register for the free class, A Taste of Psychic Mediumship, the 3-hour free class. You do need to get your foot in the door for that. We've done this one other time and it filled up really quickly. And so go to the website again, IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. The camera's going to go down. It's going down like as we speak.
Hey.
I think the cat's going to have to go to another room, or maybe he wants to go play with his toys over there. Anyone else have cats? Anyone else dealing with this right now? They're
Stay scooted.
absolutely bored out of their minds, and I have so many toys. Yeah, this whole thing shifted.
Now they get this. This is the behind the scenes footage.
Yeah, this is the behind the scenes
Welcome,
footage
everybody.
for you guys.
This
For
is
the
exciting.
YouTube members get to see this stuff sometimes, but I think you're almost
Oh, too
no,
much.
you got the other one. Okay, that's really good enough. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. What other announcements did I want to make? We also have the Psychic Mediumship course has always been, thank you, Polly. It's always been designated to certain times of the year because it's 2 semesters long and it's very in-depth and takes a lot of work out of myself, my assistant teachers. However, this week we have officially gone evergreen. So you guys can register for the course anytime. That is huge. For 10 years, I've been doing it this way where I only offered it a couple times a year, and now it is always. Okay, so check out the Psychic Mediumship Course, officially evergreen. All right, we're going to try again. Are we ready? Looks like our audio is good here on TikTok. Looks like our audio is good on YouTube.
I enjoy the comments. A lot of people like looking out the window as well. So found out someone's getting a delivery across the street.
Oh, I wonder what they're getting. It's probably Orlando again. Sometimes they bring his deliveries here. I get his food every now and again. All right, very good. So welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally, online, and we are slowly getting back to in-person in everything from psychic mediumship development to tarot, astrology, numerology, Reiki, paranormal work, empathic work, you name it, we do it. We train children as well as adults. So I hope to see you guys for classes. You can go to ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com to register for any of those classes, and they are downloadable. Now, what we're doing here tonight is one of my free mini classes. I've been putting out 1 to 2 free mini classes per week since the pandemic hit. This is called the Quarantine Series. And if you want to watch all of the past classes, you can go here on YouTube at Ask Ivy. Up in my playlist, it'll say mini classes. I've also been putting them out on podcasts because a lot of you requested that you could listen to them on the go. So anywhere that you can download a podcast, you can start to get Ask Ivy now. So tonight's free mini class is called When Spirit Pulls Away. I do encourage you guys to hit that like button. I encourage you to subscribe and follow. Donations are always appreciated, and my classes are interactive. So I want you to post your questions, your comments throughout this class. And Paul, my adorable producer, how are you, Paulie?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good. At the moment. And so Paul, don't even think about it. He's staring at me right now, or he's staring at the camera. Paul will be taking your questions more toward the end of the curriculum. So anything goes. All right. So why spirit, or should I say when spirit pulls away? When spirit pulls away, why does this happen? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can remedy the situation. And I want to also examine different times when that's not happening at all. You're misconstruing the information and are getting nervous over something that isn't actually going on at all. So when we feel detached from spirit, we feel like either the spirits are hiding or our ancestors are no longer giving guidance, or we can start to wonder why we feel lonely or almost like we're on an island. The energy is gone. We may start to panic, and our first thought is usually that we did something wrong, that we caused for this discord or this disconnect. All right. So when we feel disconnected from spirit, we feel disconnected from ourselves. That's the truth behind it. And that's really where the discomfort is coming in. I want you guys to imagine what it was like in your life before you felt connected to spirit, or what it's like for people who never really connect to spirit. What a sad, isolating, lost at sea feeling, that is for them. So much of the time. And it's so important that we realize that this is a connection that we want to keep all the time, but that is really nothing more than a feeling. So we want to be realistic that what we feel emotionally is not necessarily energetically the truth. We can be very connected to spirit and right on course and still in alignment with ourselves, but become confused. And it's important to stay calm at all times when addressing this feeling, this emotion. We do find that in our panic to immediately fix it, people do a couple key things. I see this with my students. I see this with my clients. I even sometimes see it with friends and want to say something, but don't want to cross a boundary line. I see people overreaching, grabbing. They are trying too hard, coming from a place of ego, which is about fear and control, trying to hold on to spirit to get that connection back. And they're kind of really flailing all because of that feeling of disconnect. And it's really important that if you are one of these people that panics when you feel disconnected to spirit, it could be that you have some trauma, whether it be from childhood or something that happened in your life, even in adulthood, that made you develop some fear of abandonment issues. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's because of an event that occurred that you now have a trauma trigger in regards to that type of separation. Okay, this might be a good time to get therapy about that. A lot of people will automatically run to classes, courses, certifications, crystals. I watch a lot of people who think that they're very spiritual or they're very connected, that they maybe think that they are these tremendous healers or light workers, but they are also obsessive with the classes, the certifications, the books, the trainings, the videos, the crystals, and it's compulsive. They are substituting that for the real deal. And energetically between them and spirit, there really isn't a whole heck of a lot going on there. So that's another reaction to that feeling of disconnect, is to overdo it, where they are excessively trying to grab and hold on to spirit energy. The other common thing to see is that you may want to teach. All of a sudden, when people start feeling disconnected from spirit, they want to teach about spirit all the time. They want to teach about light work all the time. They want to talk about energy work and how it actually works and the rules of the universe and all of these secret systems all the time. And it's really a time when you feel disconnected from spirit, not to teach, not to say more, not to do more, not to push your energy out and grab, but to calm yourself, to quiet yourself, to get still, to get centered, rooted, and grounded. And this really comes from understanding a couple different things. Okay, so the two things I want to talk about before we get into the rules of how the universe works and what we can do about disconnections. I want to talk about the two most important things for you to remember in regards to this. And that is, number one, connecting to spirit, the universe, your higher mind, is a natural flow of energy. You should not try too hard, and you don't have to try too hard to actually have that connection. So what you're going to want to do in moments when you are feeling a disconnect, whether it's real or not, you're going to want to be mindful of the energy that you're experiencing, not in denial. Don't panic. Just be mindful of it and accept it. Say, this is interesting. I feel isolated. I really don't feel like I'm channeling spirit very much at all, or that the universe is communicating with me. Even my dreams seem off. That's interesting. Well, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to observe what I'm feeling, thinking, and that disconnect itself. I'm also going to calmly observe from a place of being more centered and mindful, the things that do seem to be connecting me, the symbols, the signs, the synchronicities, the intuitions I am having. And I'm going to put a little more attention on the things that I am feeling are keeping me connected to spirit and the universe. Okay, and number two, the other thing you need to remember at all times is that there is order to this madness, right? There is some rhyme and reason to all of this chaos. And there are rules, universal systems that are in place. And once you're educated on those rules, it's much more easy for you to follow along with those rules and feel a more successful, constant connection to spirit and the universe and your higher mind. So let's now break down what those rules are. Once you're educated again, you can use this going forward on a regular basis, and you should. Okay, so rule number one, spirit is aligned with universal law. We could say that spirit, and when I say spirit, I'm referring to God, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, possibly even your deceased pets. When we are talking about universal law here, we're talking about the laws of the light. We're talking about how things actually operate here when you're having a human experience on the earth plane, and how in other dimensions there are also rules, and these all coincide with each other. So spirit is abiding by universal law, which is the law of the light in this instance, which requires that spirit not enable you, not overgive, not cross a boundary. Sometimes spirit has to pull their energy back because you are not doing something that you need to. Now, this can range from a breakup with a toxic, abusive partner, to job change, to completing a task within your life contract. This is about you maybe lying to yourself, not taking a responsibility, not holding yourself accountable for something, maybe overparenting with your children, enabling someone else, being a victim, being a martyr. It could be anything, but those are some of the key areas that I see it in the most. Basically, it's this. There's an area of your life that you need to change. Spirit has notified you repeatedly. The universe has notified you repeatedly. Your higher mind has notified you repeatedly, but you're refusing to do it. And the next step in that is going to be a pullback of energy. You're not only going to feel it from spirit, you're going to feel it from the universe in general, and you're going to feel it from yourself, like you're detached from yourself, like you're out floating at sea, like something is wrong, like you're not you, like you're off base. A lot of people go and they run into therapy and they start looking for medications and they start looking for remedies in a lover or sex or addiction, drinking, drug use. We have to slow down and analyze every time this happens, whether or not it's something that we know we need to change in our life and we're refusing to do so. Okay, so how do you fix this? You do it. That's it. And this is where, I mean, you know, a huge percentage of the readings that I do, especially the email ones, people, I love you, but please, okay, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Clients are always asking, you know, and they're waiting for another answer. I can't give you another answer. You've already been told what to do. Now it's on you to do it. So remember, spirit can't live your life for you. Spirit is not a band-aid to problems. Spirit is here to assist you in living your life authentically. How do you do it? Find a way to do it. If you really want to do something, you will get it done. There are a million different routes that you could probably take. There is a ton of help out there, and we live in the day and age of technology. So Google it, okay? But you need to do it and get it over with. Think of it like just a Band-Aid, okay? Off like a Band-Aid, very hard. Now, when I talk to my students about this, we have a whole class on this. I think it's like week 3 in Psychic Mediumship Course. I call it the shift. And we talk about the 3 different ways spirit will inform you of what it is that you need to do. And when you get to the 3rd part of that, we call it the breaking of the legs. That is not a place you want to be. That's a place where you could feel and literally be quite debilitated because you're not doing what you need to. So don't let it get that far. As soon as you feel there is a change that needs to be made, make it and do it boldly. Now, the second rule that we're going to talk about here today is spirit maybe having nothing to say. If you are the kind of person who needs to hear from spirit all the time, maybe you were hyper religious in your past, you know, maybe you went through like a born again phase where you needed to get messages, you know, all the time, and you went to church a lot and you needed a ton of stimulation. There are people who feel that they need to have that connection, a sign from spirit all the time in order for the connection to be there. They need to have that feeling, that emotion, to know that it's true. And the reality is, and here's how you fix that, if spirit has nothing else to say to you at the moment, how do you fix it? You grow up. You have to mature at some point. So in the beginning, during your spiritual awakening, you know, a lot of people have this when they come into a religion, they come into connection with God for the first time. You may feel that the universe is constantly communicating with you, that synchronicities are there 24/7. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is vibrant, right? It's like being high, or it's like being drunk. It's like being on a drug. You see clearly. People talk about the Matrix all the time. I'm not sure what that movie's all about, but it basically, it sounds like that. You know, everything is being revealed. Oh, wow. You know, this is amazing. And then it's Tuesday, and like you haven't heard anything in weeks, and you wonder if you did something wrong, and all these other things I just talked about start to come into play. It's important to understand that there's a maturing process that is a great reflection of life. So I always say mediumship is the perfect reflection of life. It is a process where you start being sort of spoon-fed when you're a baby. You feel that you're getting constant love and admiration and connection from the universe and spirit. And then it's like dessert time is over. And now it's just meat and potatoes. You know, it's just vegetables. And you aren't having as much fun with it. It is time for you to mature. It's time for you to know that spirit is still there. It's time for you to know if you are on the right path and you've done everything you're supposed to do. And sometimes when spirit has given you direction on your life and you're just fulfilling that direction, it is time for you to know that that's all there is to the story. There is nothing more. Nothing is missing. You're just doing what you're supposed to do. And every day is not a holiday. Some days are Tuesday. You know, some days you're just sitting there alone, and it's okay. You know, different ways that you can really, you know, fix that is to understand that you're being needy, that you can fulfill that feeling with other things, you know, whether it be a hobby, it be other interests. Maybe you're becoming a bit of a almost like spiritual junkie, where you need to start looking at more earthly things, you know, including things like exercise, investing more in your goals and your interests. If you've reached a point of maturity in dealing with spirit in the universe where you get direction or a download on what you're supposed to be doing, and then for even like months or years, you're just building that, and you may not always feel that connection, that's quite an honor. And you might want to, at that point, start thinking about maybe teaching other people about the level that you've reached, or how you can help them get to that point. Okay. But this is a great time for you to celebrate your maturity and find other things to focus on, because you clearly no longer need to be treated like a baby and fed dessert constantly. Okay. So it is an honor. And the third rule that I want to focus on here today is that you may not be receiving what spirit is giving. You may not be able to hear or see the universe and the signs and symbols that are coming to you. Your higher mind may be screaming and shouting at you, but you're literally just like not picking up the phone. You're not picking up anything that anybody's laying down. And that can happen when you don't know the language. So I encourage all of you to check out the Psychic Mediumship Course, where we are going to teach you about how angels communicate, your higher mind communicates, your guides, the deceased, animals, nature, God, saints. You have no real connection to any of them, including yourself, if you don't understand how intuition works, psychic, mediumistic, empathic ability, if you don't understand the lost language, and if you don't understand channeling and the way that it is constantly changing and adjusting to where your life journey is. And so we have to put in the effort. How do you fix this? Learn the language. Join us. Check out more of the free classes that I have here. I am constantly trying to teach you guys, even through little tricks and games, like here on TikTok. For those of you tuning in, I do a weekly challenge. You know, find ways to better connect to your intuitive intelligence, because that's where the language is going to pass through. And the more effort that you put in, the more effort the universe is going to put in. Also, I would recommend, you guys hear me say this all the time, that you sit with your guides for 10 minutes a day. With your morning cup of coffee or tea before you talk to anyone, 10 minutes with your guides. Don't know who your guides are? Check out the Meet Your Guides class up on the website. Learn your guides, sit with them. If every day you make an effort to come to the table and connect with them, you're going to naturally feel more connected to them, because these are the spirits that are around you all the time. I am always sad when I see a client or a student thinking that they're talking to like their deceased grandfather or their deceased friend or their deceased lover or their deceased child. They think everything comes from this person, and they're ignoring their guide. It's all coming from their guide. Remember, our guides are with us more than our ancestors, more than our deceased loved ones, more than our angels, more than any other spirit in the universe. Your guides are there with you 24/7. You want to feel connected to spirit? Connect with your guides. That's literally their full-time gig. And I would also, again, if you guys have not posted your questions or comments, do so at this time. We're going to get to them right now. And again, donations are always appreciated, and please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Okay, and the last one is about pacifism and being more active. So this is all about the method that I've designed, called the PEC method. This is the psychology of energy communication method. And with this, we have left behind the old pacifist, dusty ways of barely communicating with spirit at all, where we just sit idly by and we hope and wait to receive something. Even if something, we really tend to not know what it is, how to apply it to our lives. We certainly can't really help other people through it. And it falls really, really flat. Through the method that I've designed, we are constantly reaching out and asking, inquiring, and trying to think for ourselves. We're trying to really piece all these puzzle bits together to create a whole picture, so that we can better understand not only the communication between us and spirit, but the purpose, our life path, and what it is all really for. So in the moments when you feel a disconnect, don't be shy to ask, why is this happening? Is there something that I didn't do? Should I talk to my guides and find out where they are right now, or if there's anything I need to focus on? Am I approaching a time when everything is sort of shut down because I'm entering into a warning zone? Am I going into a free will space where I really have to focus all of my attention on what it is that I'm doing? Okay, there are a million different reasons why you could feel that type of energy disconnect, and without asking, we're just sort of like waiting for the other shoe to fall. Okay, so be more attentive and assertive. Okay, in that. All right, do we have any questions or comments coming in here?
Yeah.
Okay, are you popping them up? Is that how we want to do it? Okay. All right, so our first question or comment is coming from Ray From. So we can't be intuitive if we're on psych meds? I didn't say that. That almost sounds like a statement. Can you be intuitive if you're on psych meds? Everyone is intuitive. Everyone is to some degree empathic, even if they're using it narcissistically. Everyone has empathic ability to some degree. 4 levels of empathic ability. Everyone is a medium, because spirit doesn't care whether you believe or not. Spirit is always communicating, and we are receiving. So we're all mediums, and we're all psychic, or we'd be dead for sure. Okay, so what happens when you get on certain meds, and I would have to know what kind of meds, I would have to do like a full reading on what you're even dealing with right now. But there are certain kinds of meds that basically numb you out. They're designed to help you usually to feel less anxious or less depressed, and they can make you feel completely detached from spirit and your intuition. And ultimately your higher mind. They can be dangerous if they have that addictive element to them, and it can lead to a lot of different things, but that would have to be like not everything does that. Not every drug does that. It's the same thing with using alcohol or, street drugs. I'm always talking about how that's the number one gateway to paranormal attachment and possession. Paul, if you want to put up that free mini class, you can put it in the comments here. But something people commonly ask me is, does that mean I can never smoke weed? Does that mean I can never have a glass of wine? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we need to be mindful every time you have a glass of wine. You need to be mindful every time you light up that joint. You need to be mindful every time you do an ayahuasca trip with some shaman in a cave, okay, in Peru. You need to be mindful because it can absolutely lead to bigger problems. And this detachment that you're talking about with your psych meds is something that also requires your discernment. So it depends. But yes, it does happen. And I cannot prescribe or diagnose.
Rachel, I think Ray from apologize, said sorry I worded that wrong, but thank you for answering my question. So I think
for sure.
You got to the root.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think a lot of people tuning in wonder about that all the time. So it's something that you have to judge for yourself. I always say this, and in the empathic awareness class, I talk about it in depth, that when you learn to manage the energy at the core, when we realize that the energy is chaotic and we're not handling it properly, there's no medication that's going to fix that anyways. There's no amount of therapy that's going to fix that. We still have to get to the root issue. And so that may be a good place for you to start looking is training. Okay. Okay. And we have another one from Joanne Simone. So guides are with us more than our angels. And is there more to it?
No,
okay, so guides are with us more than our angels. 100%. 100%. And so that's a huge myth. I have a class called Coffee with Your Angels. It's available video download up on the website. We just had it this past week, actually. And, people think that angels are with us all the time, hovering over, watching over, communicating. That is a huge myth. They're incredibly elusive. They're there when they are needed. They are there in a moment of either huge trauma, a massive problem that needs to be avoided, or in a time when we are mentally and emotionally really desperately needing them for our healing process. And in between, we may not hear from them much at all. However, if you've had a near-death experience, or if you are a healer, especially with energy workers, where you're doing it on a regular basis, you will be hearing from them more. Okay. And the next one is from a Lost Me Dream.
Lost in my dream.
Sorry. Colostomy Dream? I don't know. What did I watch? It was like stuck in my head. American Horror Story. That's what it is. A disgusting second season. All right. I saw colostomy. Sorry. Okay. So Lost in My Dream asks, I'm new to my spiritual journey and don't know when to stop doing the work and give it to the universe. Well, sounds like you just realized that you need to understand the flow. Okay. It is not like anything else. So when you were growing up, your parents were like, learn to go to the bathroom in the toilet. Okay. They were like, learn to brush your teeth, learn to take a shower, learn to go to school, get yourself a career, go get that job, push, push, push. You want to go anywhere? You got to get your driver's license. You want to go anywhere? Now you have to earn money for a car. You want to go anywhere in life? Now you have to, it's like endless work. And that's fine. That's life, but that's not spirituality. Okay, so everything in spirituality has its own flow, and you cannot compare it. You have to deprogram yourself and untrain from everything you previously learned. Okay. Also, you can't force it. So you can overdo it all you want. It isn't going to help you to feel like you're elevating it all. It's actually going to make it backpedal, and you're going to feel like you're fouling and detaching more than anything. That's a great question. Okay. So it was such a pleasure doing this class with you guys. Next week, Wednesday, is my bi-weekly show, Ask Ivy, where I take your personal questions. I give you guys free readings. I connect with your spirits on the other side. And so we don't have class next week. Class will be the following week. after that. And what is the date on that? And what's the topic?
25th, reality of relationships with you and Christina.
Wow. Okay. So the 25th of the month, 8 o'clock Eastern, back here on TikTok and YouTube. It is the reality of relationships with my astrologer, Christina Del Rey. We do church together also. That's Reverend Christina from church for you, those of you who follow Roots Revival Interfaith here. And we're going to be talking about relationships. Why did they not work out? Why do soulmates not work out? What is a karmic contract? Why do we have cords? What are relationship dynamics, even with family members and parents and children, in the universal order of things versus the way we look at them as humans and need and sometimes want so much more out of them than what they really are. We're going to break all that down astrologically from Christina and from myself as a psychic medium. All right. See you guys then. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you, Spirit.